Hi TJ Stars, it's Miss Ertola coming to you live from my backyard, and it's such a beautiful day today, so I'm trying to be outside as much as possible. I hope you all are too. We miss you so much, and so I thought it would be fun to hop on and record a video for you and read you a story. So I hope you're all doing well. And this story is called A Piglet Named Mercy. And it's by one of my favorite authors, Kate D. Camillo. If you're an upper grade student, you probably have read Because of Winn-Dixie or The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane, which are two of my absolute favorite read-alouds. This is the same author, and something that Kate D. Camillo does a lot is she creates animals that become very special to the characters in her story. So, and this is no exception. So she creates really special animals in her stories. So this is called A Piglet Named Mercy. I hope you like it. I thought it was really cute. It's illustrated by Chris Van Dusen. I'll try my best to show you the pictures, but I think what I'll do is I'll read the words first and then I'll zoom in if that's okay. Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson lived in a house on Deckawoo Drive. Deckawoo Drive was an ordinary street in an ordinary town. This might be kind of funky, sorry. And Mr. and Mrs. Watson were ordinary people who did ordinary things in ordinary ways. So there's a picture of Mr. Watson cutting the bushes, Mrs. Watson vacuuming, Mr. Watson washing the car. One day, let's see if I can, sorry. One day, Mrs. Watson said to Mr. Watson, "I wonder if we aren't just the tiniest bit too predictable." "Predictable, us?" said Mr. Watson. "Surely not." "It's just that sometimes I wish something different would happen," said Mrs. Watson. "Well, things are fine just as they are," said Mr. Watson. But then something different did happen. It says, "Caution, pigs." Someone very small and not at all ordinary found her way to Mr. Watson's house on Deckawoo Drive. And there's a little piggy coming up the hallway. Mr. Watson made the discovery when he opened the door from the morning paper. "Mrs. Watson," he said, "come see." "Oh, little dear," said Mrs. Watson. "Oink," said the pig. "I think she's hungry," said Mr. Watson. "Is that a pig?" said Eugenia Lincoln. Eugenia Lincoln lived next door, and she did not approve of surprises or pigs. "It is," said Mrs. Watson. "Can you believe our luck?" "Don't be ridiculous," said Eugenia Lincoln. "A pig is not lucky at all." "Do you think perhaps the piglet would like a bottle of warm milk?" said Baby Lincoln. Baby was Eugenia's younger sister, and she was fond of surprises and piglets. Mr. Watson scratched his head. "A bottle of milk? I don't know. This is all so unpredictable." "Leave it to me," said Baby Lincoln. "Oink," said the piglet again. Mrs. Watson picked up the piglet and took her inside. She wrapped her in a blanket. "Have you ever seen anyone so darling?" she said. "Never," said Mr. Watson. "Here's the warm milk," said Baby Lincoln. "I have it right here." Eugenia said, "This is absurd." There's Eugenia. She looks a little grumpy. The piglet did not think it was absurd at all. She drank the entire bottle. And then she burped. Burp. And she oinked, oink, and went looking for more. "Oh my goodness," said Mr. Watson. "Watch out," said Eugenia. "She seems to like toast very much," said Baby. "Oh, the darling, darling thing," said Mrs. Watson. I think the illustrations are really good. Mr. Watson, said Mrs. Watson, perhaps you would like to hold her for a bit. Certainly, said Mr. Watson. He took the piglet in her arms, he rocked her, and he hummed. How extraordinary, said Mr. Watson. She is a porcine wonder. Look at that face. This piglet is a wish come true, said Mrs. Watson. What a mercy she is, said Baby. There you go, said Mr. Watson. We will call her Mercy. She is not a mercy, said Eugenia. She is a pig. Oink, oink, said the piglet. You cannot name a pig Mercy, shouted Eugenia. But they did name her Mercy. She was entirely unpredictable. She was not at all ordinary, and she was very, very loved. The end. I like this story for lots of reasons. One reason I like this story is because it reminds me that families are made up of all different ways. And another reason why I like it is because sometimes really awesome things come from unpredictable times. And right now we're kind of in unpredictable times, but a really awesome thing came out of it. So here's to hoping that something really awesome comes out of this very unpredictable time. I miss you all. I hope you're staying healthy. I hope you're having a good time at home, and we'll see you really soon. Bye.